On this special edition of Lexington Now, Leaf Collection, the Town Branch Trail, and a growing tribute to Jake Gibbs. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of November 9th, 2020. An annual fall rite of passage is here. I'm talking about Leaf Collection. We caught up with the Director of Streets and Roads, Rob Allen, and he tells us how things may look a little different during a pandemic.
We service about 97,000 residential households. So we tried to break the map up into 25 households per unit. That way we can consistently, depending on the amount of trees in the neighborhood, service a zone within 3 to 5 days. Some zones are, are around 2,000, some of them are 2,700, but we're pretty close. Now, as far as how we collect from west to east, and that's because our prevailing weather is that way. Also, it just so happens our composition of tree canopy is a little bit different in the western part of Fayette County versus the southeastern, which is predominantly Bradford pear, which holds its leaves later into the season. It also puts us into the heart of downtown where you have a lot of mature oaks. Oaks tend to hold their leaves a little later than some species, so that's almost the right time. It's kind of a throw a dart and get started. We have a lot of folks that like to offer suggestions. We appreciate the feedback. The thing to remember is it can't be just for your house. It has to benefit and work for the other 90,000 households. And we've had some great feedback and suggestions about alternating how we start areas and things like that, and we've incorporated them over the years. Due to social distancing, we're only going to be able to use half of the temporary staff, which is going to slow us down a little bit, but fortunately Parks and Rec has stepped up to the plate, and they're going to help us by replacing some of those temporary workers with some full-time maintenance folks on their end. So hopefully people won't even notice a difference, but for us, we're only able to put 2 people in a truck. We have to be socially distanced, wear masks and things like that. The employees won't be wearing masks if they're in a solitary occupation or far enough away. It just depends. You will go to www.lexingtonky.gov/leaves. You'll come to an interactive map. Type in your address. If you receive city garbage collection, it will tell you the date your zone starts. So the night before your start date, for example, if it says December 1st, then November 30th, you would have your leaves between the sidewalk and the curb. If you don't have a sidewalk, put your leaves in a pile at the edge of your yard, at the edge of the road, and we'll get them. Do not put your leaves in the road. That's a safety hazard. It also puts them down the storm drain, which is a big part of what we're trying to prevent with the collection. It can't have garbage, large sticks or twigs, no dead critters, please, nothing inorganic, and that's for the safety of the crews, and also because this material is taken to our yard waste facility and turned into mulch, so it is recycled and reused. We are not charged with picking up the leaf bags. Fortunately, the yard waste carts will be serviced still weekly, and waste management will pick up all the bags you put out. We're there to collect loose leaves. If we miss you or there's a miscommunication or our paths don't cross, you've still got the primary means, which is your yard waste cart plus the yard waste bag. So that's the good thing. All is not lost.
If you've been downtown at all lately, you have no doubt noticed a lot of construction along the Vine Street corridor. While a large part of that is due to the Lexington Center, the rest is the long-awaited Town Branch Commons. Randy Peacher updates us on the progress.
So the last time we were out on site, there was a lot of demolition going on. So you saw a lot of dirt, a lot of pipes, and a lot of rock, but really nothing that looked like a finished product. So today we're standing here, and you can look behind me and see there are now paths that are forming. I'm standing on what is to be the bike path, and I am right beside what will be the pedestrian path. So all along Vine Street, when this is completed, you'll have a separate bike path versus a separate walking path. And then once we get to Midland Avenue, they'll combine. So the bike path that we have running along Vine Street essentially runs right above the Town Branch Commons. So you have that culvert below our feet that collects rainwater and moves it through the downtown core. Once you're down behind Rupp Arena, that water daylights, but in the downtown core, it's right below our feet. And actually, there are a few storm features that are nearby that you'll see. Those are to collect additional storm water as the bioswales grab that water, it cleanses it. If there's more than it can handle, you have those inlets that they can utilize as well that connects to the stormwater. There may be a misconception about us opening up the Town Branch Creek in the downtown corridor, but we're not. We're leaving it in that culvert below ground, and the reason for that is many reasons. Let me explain. One is when you look downtown, there's not a lot of room. So we needed to make sure and accommodate the walking path, the bike path, and still move cars and provide parking along Vine Street. So that's one reason why it's underground. The second reason is we still need that stormwater system. We still need to prevent flooding in the downtown. And so everything that we're doing as part of Town Branch Commons is not only about transportation, but it's about water quality and that collection of stormwater. So we are including or incorporating almost 2 acres of planted areas along this 1.5-mile corridor that will now collect stormwater and filter that water naturally rather than it running off of hard surfaces and into our storm system. So you're still going to see or hear, the water beneath you at certain areas, at certain intervals along the path, but we will not be exposing it in and along the bike path. However, that bike path and this pedestrian path goes right on top of where that stormwater is, that culvert is. So you're walking on water right downtown on top of it. So the Town Branch Commons Trail project is being funded by numerous sources, including federal funds, and that requires us to monitor how we're impacting the environment. And so obviously we're already doing that from a water standpoint, but another way that we're monitoring is from an archaeological standpoint. As we dig into the earth and we uncover what's beneath this hard surface that we've been walking and driving on, there are layers of history beneath it. And so we are required, and we have hired an archaeologist to be on site. So anytime you see our guys digging, the archaeologist is there monitoring. And down on Zone 4, or in your all's terms, the Lexington Center site, right behind Triangle Park, the archaeologists uncovered historically significant items. So we'll hop down to Triangle Park here shortly, and we'll talk to Betty Kerr, our Director of Historic Preservation with the City of Lexington, and she can give us a little more detail as to what they're uncovering at Triangle Park.
So, okay. We do know, and the interesting thing is the bricks, the way that they're orientated, they're actually like lined up against Vine Street.
Well, we're in a really interesting area of town adjacent to Triangle Park, and what's being uncovered by the archaeologists are things indicative of 1840s to 60s China ware and a metal stove plate that is from a heating, their main heating source. Things that all tell us parts about people's lives here in the first half of the 19th century in Lexington. And it's because of where it was residential, it was businesses, there was a tavern right across the street we're sure of. One of the first things encountered was a historic cistern, which again had materials around the top of it that dated from the 1840s, 1850s, and is not been fully opened up, so we don't know what's lurking in there. The project, we're hoping to not disturb anything that is not necessary to disturb, but it's indicative that we're in a backyard space, probably, of a home. and possibly adjacent businesses. We're just beside what is the town branch, Water Street, and so we know there was a hide operation, a merchant who sold hides here, and so there's all sorts of potential for the artifacts. The other thing they have found are some really fascinating foundations to buildings, particularly along the Main Street. They would have had Main Street frontage, but also ones that face Spring Street. So we're at a corner, actually on three sides of this project. So they found brick that are walkways and roadbed, and actually a couple of layers of those separated by time. Time being maybe 50 to 80 years difference in the time periods. So the layering, the magic of archaeology is that it's like seeing an opening up a time period in history, is to see it peel back and tell us these stories through these artifacts.
A growing tribute to the late Jake Gibbs after the break.
I wear a mask so I can safely fly out of Lexington Airport to go see my grandson.
Because I like grocery shopping and going out shopping with my daughters.
So I can feel safe when I go shopping or go to the grocery.
In memory of my husband, Bill McCann, who was a community leader, and he would have supported this cause.
Help me and wear yours too.
Help me and wear a mask too.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. The sudden passing of Jake Gibbs in March of this year marked a sad chapter for city government. But now a new tribute to the late council member is taking shape.
About a week after Jake passed away, Sav came to me and said, I want to create a garden in Jake's honor at my restaurant. And I think what got this idea flowing for him, he knew about Jake's interest in trees from Trees Lexington. But at the memorial service, my daughter Delaney spoke about how much Jake loved lilacs and forget-me-nots. And it's sort of funny because here's this big guy with the beard and the leather jacket who rode motorcycles for years, and he loved these little tender flowers. And she spoke about how Jake would lift her up to smell the best ones in Belcourt. And I think that might have been what got Saab thinking about a garden.
I'm the owner of Saab's Grill, which is the only West African restaurant and I guess in the state of Kentucky. I'm an ice cream maker also. The food I serve here is a comfort food from my home country. I'm able to share my culture with the community I'm living, which I've been living here for 28 years now. We planning to build arbor and to create outside seating. Hopefully, whenever this pandemic is over, we can be still using that space for the communities and for the neighborhood.
Jake also traveled around the world, and he saw how so many other cities have these gathering places, these convening places where people can connect and talk and hang out and slow down and enjoy each other. And that's what I predict this is going to be, a very special place. And the fact that it's bringing nature onto Main Street. I mean, I just think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, you think of Main Street as like cement and parking lots and buildings, but this is going to be a beautiful place. And Trees Lexington is pitching in and helping, and all sorts of people are joining us. We started a GoFundMe. It's called Jake's Garden at Sav's restaurant. And when we put it up, immediately people started donating and like the vision of what this could be.
Really, most of our business right now, we're doing takeout. So I'm hoping this project will finish before the cold weather starts, and then hopefully people will come, and explore this beauty we're going to be creating here.
What I love about it is Jake had such a vision for Lexington. He certainly wanted there to be more tree canopy and worked toward that by co-founding Trees Lexington. He was a big advocate of art and downtown art. And he was a big advocate of downtown, of it being a place that was people-friendly, a place where people could gather. And this idea that Sav came up with does all of those things beautifully. Rachel and Savane and I have spent a number of evenings sitting on porches, sitting around fire pits, talking about what this garden might look like. And I think it's something Jake Gibbs would be very pleased with.
Like it or not, much colder weather will soon be here, and now is the time to prepare your home's plumbing for winter. Kentucky American's Susan Lancho has some tips.
Well, with fall upon us now, we know that winter weather is right around the corner, and so Kentucky American Water suggests for all of our customers that they take a few minutes this fall to go ahead and prepare their homes now for the cold temperatures that will be coming later. And that includes things like when you're outside raking leaves, pruning your bushes and things for the fall, go ahead and remove your garden hoses from the spigots outside your home and make sure that you get all of those garden hoses disconnected from those spigots, because if you leave those attached, then the water in those hoses can freeze during cold temperatures and cause that frozen water become ice and back up into your home and burst your pipes. So we certainly don't want that. So go ahead and make sure you disconnect those hoses. The other thing that you can do is go ahead and check around your home for any water pipes in your home inside that are on outside walls that may be susceptible when the weather does get cold to freezing during those colder temperatures. You also want to check things like basements for pipes that are exposed in basements that get very cold, because again, those pipes can freeze and potentially burst, and that causes huge headaches and obviously some damage and cost for you in the winter, and we don't want that. So go ahead and take some time, maybe check out some options for insulating those pipes at your local hardware store. Take care of that now before frozen temperatures come. And then the last thing that I would say is a really significant step to take is make sure that you and everyone in your home knows how to turn off the water to your home quickly should you have a pipe freeze this winter. And to do that, you want to know where the main water shutoff valve is located in your home. It's often in a basement or a utility room, sometimes in a crawl space, and it's typically on the side of the home where your water line enters your home from the meter. And so you want to look for that valve, and when you find it, when you identify it, go ahead and mark it with a ribbon or a piece of tape or something to let your family members know that should there ever be a burst pipe in your home, that's the valve to turn to quickly turn off your water. This winter, if you were to have a pipe freeze and burst, certainly if it bursts, you want to go ahead and again shut off that water with your main water shutoff valve until you can have time to check with your plumber, etc. But you want to keep that water turned off so that you don't cause more problems in your home. But the other thing you can do to prevent colder temperatures this winter is if you go away, for instance, if you're out of town for the weekend or you have an extended stay away from your home during the holidays, for example, make sure that when you adjust the heat for your home, don't go any lower than 55. It may be tempting to turn that heat all the way down, but if you do that, you risk your home getting really cold and causing those pipes to freeze. So you want to prevent that by going no lower than 55 degrees. To prevent pipes as well, once cold weather does get here, prevent them from freezing, you may on certain nights when the temperatures are getting really cold, to have just a trickle of water dripping from your faucet to help that water keep moving and again prevent it from freezing. If you do have a frozen pipe, you want to, for instance, if it's under a cabinet, you want to open those cabinet doors, let the warm air of your home help to thaw those pipes out. You could take a hairdryer and blow those pipes. We don't recommend taking any kind of open flame to thaw your pipes because that can cause you other problems. But certainly sometimes it's time is what it takes. And again, if there's any indication that there's a leak that's being caused by that pipe, you want to turn your water off.
Most meetings at City Hall are running virtually, and we are bringing many of these meetings to you live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. We continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including testing sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.